Hey guys, Brian here with a video I'm going to make of how to make the Alabama rig. And the key to making it cheaper than all the other people on YouTube. They have to buy the big old huge crimpers and the aluminum ferrules and stuff. Here's the ingredient I use to make it, and it's cheap and it works really good. Weld stick. And I'll show you how I put it together. Okay guys, so what you need to go to Lowe's, and I just use survey flags like some of the other guys on YouTube using the survey flags. But what I do is, of course, you want to have one longer. Some guys have been putting lead weights on them. This one I'm not going to put a lead weight on it, because okay, this one's kind of going to be specialized, and actually on this one I'm only going to use 3 wires on this one, because I think Table Rock, I can't remember if it's only 2 or 3, but anyway, I'm going to make one that's a 3. So what I do is I start out and I make for the end, this is where the line tie is going to be, make a loop for the end of the line tie, and then I kind of make some, because you got to have a way for the JB Weld to hold on. So I'll do this to the rest of them and show you what the end result's going to be. Okay, so here's the end result. So I kind of bent the rods into kind of like just a zigzag pattern on all of those, and the one with my eye is going to be a little bit longer. And so then what I'll do is I'll take some I take tape to hold it together tight. So get the tape on there. And this JB Weld, once you get it on there and form it to however shape you want, it holds pretty tight. But I kind of get the ends like kind of all scattered up, because when you put the JB Weld on there, you're going to actually be forcing or squishing it, pushing it into those voids in there, those openings. But I'm telling you guys, once you get that together, that JB Weld, that's some hard stuff. It isn't going to come apart, and these wires aren't just going to fall out. So I'll go ahead and start breaking up the JB Weld, and I'll show you guys what that's going to look like. Okay, so I cut me off a piece of that JB Weld stick. I'm going to be forming it. You guys can buy this stuff at Walmart and Lowe's. It's pretty cheap. And you can, with one whole tube of this stuff, you could probably make, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 rigs. And this stuff is pretty cheap, but you just keep forming it until it turns, you get all the blue and the white out of it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you on the directions. And then what also, you want to have you a little cup of water so you can dip your fingers in once you're forming it around the end of this, so that way it's not sticking to your fingers and it works out a little bit better. So I'll show you here in just a second. Once we start forming, I get this done and we'll form it around that wire. Okay, so I got the JB Weld form. I kind of make a square piece. You guys can pretty much make, or however you guys want to do it. But I take it and I just squish it up in there. Get up in there real good, and then kind of fold it over. Like so. Make sure you don't cover up your line tie there, and just get it all squished. Try to get it as good as you can squished up in there. And then this is kind of, and you guys could make your own, get creative with it if you wanted to. I probably used a little bit too much for this, and also I didn't put a lead weight in there. It's really easy to add a lead weight if you wanted to, because this stuff will form right around it. But this is where the water comes in handy. Get your fingers a little wet, not too soaking wet, and then that water helps to keep your fingers from sticking from that, and it's a lot easier to form. And so sometimes I've laid it down on a tray and kind of rolled it around to get smooth, but I'm just using this as an example. But so basically this is going to be a 3-wire version. And I don't think I'll go into explaining how to add the you know, the swivel clamps onto the end. This wire is pretty easy to bend, you know, and you guys could figure that out with the other videos that are on there that you guys have seen. So anyway, that's all there is to it. In probably an hour it's going to be hard. I'd recommend, you know, start bending these wires until the next day, because then it'll be fully hardened. So and then I'll show you here in a second a completed rig that I did. Okay, so here's a completed rig I did. This was my first prototype I built, and I don't really have, you know, I just put twin tails on there, but you can see how I bent the ends to put the clamps on there, the swivel clamps on there. But you can see that once that stuff's hardened, and this one I happen to have a lead weight in there. I'm not sure, I think it's a quarter ounce egg sinker under there. On this version I did, and this is a 5-wire version. But I've used this, I've actually hit it across bridge pilings and stuff. You can see where I've hit it on a bridge piling. But that is hard. These wires are not going to come out of there. One problem you might have with these steel wires is that they're going to rust, but I really haven't had that kind of problem. In fact, the hooks have rusted quicker than the wire. So, you know, I don't think it'll last forever, but it's just a cheap and easy way to make the Alabama rig. You don't have to buy the crimpers, the ferrules, because I started out, I was going to do the ferrules and the crimpers, but heck, that was like a, you know, $50 investment just for all that stuff, just to make a couple Alabama rigs. And doing it this way, I can make a whole bunch of them, and for dirt cheap. So this is just another method to making the Alabama rig. Thanks guys for watching the video.